Very exciting today. My CBI bumper has just arrived on the freight truck. So we're gonna go get it out, check it out. Right between the cars. All right, so I just took delivery of my new CBI front bumper. That's it. And got the umbrella out because it's like 100 degrees out here today. And we're gonna get started on pulling this bad boy apart. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is pop these little guys out. I have a little tool specially designed for that. On this side. Whoa. So now underneath here are these little tabs that I need to release to get that front grille to unhook from this piece. So let me do that. I had to turn a fan on because it's hot out here. Okay, so I'm going to unhook the camera. Okay. What I don't want to do is break those little tabs, because those are important to hold it up together. So I got 3 of them undone. It's kind of like you get one going, the rest of them kind of want to go. Okay. Let's see right here, the camera, you just have a little tab that you press to release that. And the next thing I want to do is take these screws out, reach under, and I think there's some screws underneath this as well. And then I need to unhook the light on each side. That pulls out, and then that exposes these screws underneath. You can see that. The screws underneath there, so those 2 need to come out. Do that on both sides. Okay, so in this area right here, what I did is I just reached in and grabbed this and then just pulled it laterally outwards, and that pulled it from there. Now I can reach down from the top here. You can see, reach down and unhook the lights. Next step is get under here, and we're going to take off this skid plate, and for some reason mine's missing 2 of the bolts, and then we're going to take off these brackets. These are 14 millimeter, I believe these are 17 millimeter here. I need to take the hook off, and then I'm going to take these look like 10 millimeters, but they also have a Phillips head, so I'm just going to take the drill and pop those out real quick. Okay, so there's that, and then these are definitely going to be reused to put the bumper in, so I'm going to hang on to those. And then let's go ahead and take these. There's 4 of those, and then I got to take the hook off on the other side. Okay, and I'm putting all of these into a magnetic tray so I don't lose anything. So now that's loose, and it looks like there's a 10 millimeter here I need to pull loose. Alright, so the next step is to get these clips out. Here. There's 3 of those. pretty loose. I got to get these fog lights unhooked. I got this side plastic thing out. I need to take this one out. There was a metal piece, or this plastic piece that was there. It was right here. That just unsnapped. Had some clips holding that, so that's out. I'm going to use a 10mm to disconnect this sensor, and I'm going to pop this side out. So just unscrew those. And then that actually crash bar is actually going to be not used, because that's where the bumper will go. Okay, I'm going to set this inside the vehicle until time to use, because I don't want to muck that up. I'm going to get the top first and then pull it out. Okay. I don't think these are used again. Looks like I'll have to use a wrench to get to that one. Alright, so now we got to take the secondary skid plate off. Take these 10mm. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then we'll take off this bumper. Pretty sweet. Actually, it's really not too bad. I mean, if you're okay taking everything apart. This should be a 17mm here. So on this bolt inside here, it kept trying to strip out on me. And I was using, like, there's 2 different sockets. So there's this one like this, which has multiple little grip angles on it. And then there's this one that just actually grips to the 6 sides of the nut. And this one was slipping on the nut, and I was like, oh my gosh, that thing is going to get stripped out in there, and I'm not going to be able to get it out. I would have to actually take a Sawzall and cut this bumper to try to get that off. So what I did is I just sprayed it with some WD-40, let it sit for a minute, and then I got this socket, and I used a cheater bar, and it was on there really good, but it broke loose. So now the bumper's going to go ahead and come on out. So I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I read about was this guy here might have to be relocated, which I think is the airbag sensor. I'm going to unhook the battery before I mess with that, but the new bumper should bolt right into here and then up under here, and then I'm going to put my winch in once it's in, because it's heavy and I can't lift all that up here by myself. So I'll probably grab my daughter to help me move this over and get that into place, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I took the bumper out of the packaging. I set it over here. It was sitting in the sun, so it's extremely hot right now. I got the fan blowing on it, trying to cool it down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reuse our factory bolts in these two spots here to go there, and then the 2 underneath. Those metal plates will actually go right here to do the proper spacing, and hopefully it'll be level. And then I'll get that tightened up, and then I will go ahead and get my winch and my light bar installed, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Alright, so that's that. You got the 2 top ones in. Okay, and if you look, there's plenty of room to get the winch and everything in here, so that's cool. Now I'll put in those bottom plates and use these factory bolts they had the tow hooks in, and should be good. I'm hoping you can see, but so get that forward, slide these in, okay, and then I'm going to throw some anti-seize on these guys before I put them in there. Right, bumper is mounted. I think it looks really cool. I like it. I like the things I need to do. We'll put the winch in, we'll put the light bar in, I'll run the wires where they need to go, and then I got to get the plastic cut so that it can fit up in there. This right here, we just cut away, so, and then tuck it. So anyway, it's nice though. It looks really nice. I like it. And then I'm going to order some red tow hooks to go in there so that I'll still have that red look in the front. I think that'll look sharp. Alright, so here's the winch. This one I think is 9,500 pounds, which should be sufficient. I liked it because it did have the synthetic cord, but it was also orange, which matches the accents of the truck. On my Rubicon, I've never actually had to use the winch. I just feel safer when I'm out wheeling on my own to have it. So we're going to go ahead and throw it in, and that should be fine. And then we'll throw in the light bar, and then I got to take a break because I got plans for the afternoon. So yeah, so that's next. So this winch has some square nuts that fit right into the slots. So I'm going to put those in and then take a piece of electrical tape to hold them into place. There's one. There's two. Okay, good. There's a huge control box, which has to go. Yeah, I need to move that sensor. So what I'm working on now is the airbag control sensor. It's right in the way of where the winch is going to go. So I'm going to see if I can move it over to this thing. So I think I can just tuck it in right there. Put the nut on right here and the nut on right there, and that should work. And then this thing here will rest nicely right there. And then yeah, okay, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so this is too small to get a screwdriver in there, so I made this little thing with the Phillips on the end of it, and that actually will fit in there and let me tighten those screws down. So you just got to be resourceful. Alright, so I just got the wiring done. These were labeled which color they were, and then this box is nice and secure, airbag sensor secure. There's a little ground wire. I just ground it to that. I'll probably just do a zip tie to keep it up out of the way, and then I have, these are the two wires that will go up to the battery right here, so I'll run those. A couple zip ties. I ran it back behind this frame area right here. Never the frame, but there's plenty of room back behind the battery to tuck extra length. So that'll go there and there, and then that's done. All right, so it's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm inside my living room here, and The next step is these little tabs. I'm just going to cut these off all the way across and take this bottom piece out, and then there's a couple screws here that I'll need to undo on either side. And the bumper actually has a place for this to go back, so we'll keep those screws and reuse those. Alright, so the next step is to cut all of this plastic away around the bottom of this. And I'm using a cutoff wheel on a DeWalt grinder. And I'm just going to go through and generously cut it off and then leave an edge to come back and clean up. So I'll probably just cut it off tonight, and then tomorrow I'll go clean it up. Alright, good morning. So it's the next day, and I did a little work last night. So I went ahead and trimmed. Actually, you trim quite a bit of stuff away. And I used a cutoff wheel, mainly in a sander. And I think it'll be okay. There's a couple little spots, but it wasn't too bad overall. So I'm going to go put this on the truck, see how it looks. Because I'm by myself, I'm going to go get these little doodads and stick those in there just to hold it. But I think overall it's going to be just fine. So let's do that. On the wiring harness for the light, you know, you plugged it in right there. Okay, and it had all of this. But because I have this Voss switch, what I did is I just cut the wire, added my ground, and then I added my hot wire in right here, which, I missed the nut. But anyway, I put it on the second switch here, and that's up and running. So I like it. Looks good. Alright, so doing that worked pretty well. I got everything snapped in. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. There's 4 screws on either side. It looks pretty good. The bumper actually does not completely touch the plastic, which I thought it did. So there is a little bit of a gap there. But I think it looks good. So the thing I have left is I have to move the cruise control sensor onto the grill, and then reattach this wire and this wire for the camera and the cruise control sensor, and then I'll put the grill back on, and yeah, that's it. Alright, so here's the cruise control sensor, 10 millimeters, got 3 nuts. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put it in this guy, and I'm not quite sure how this mounts. It's different than the one that CBI showed on their video, so we'll see if they can figure that out. Alright, so there's no instructions in the box, but I have a feeling I was just wondering if this plate is supposed to mount. Surely not. I'm not quite sure where this goes. Maybe I'm supposed to drill this out and set that right there, because it's wide enough to fit these 2 cross braces, which makes me think that that might be their new solution. Before they had it mounting under the camera, where the camera screws in, but this would make sense. I just wish it actually lined up to some holes already. Okay, so I looked online in their PDF. It includes the old cruise control sensor mount, so I'm assuming this goes right here. So I'm going to go ahead and drill 2 holes, place it there. I actually think it's a better location. You just got to make sure
when you place it, that you're far enough away from the grill that the grill has clearance to come in and do its thing. So the grill will snap in right here. I'm just going to grab the grill and just make sure that that's going to give me enough room. This should be fine. So you can see. It'll give me plenty of room with it being right back there. Just hopefully I have it close enough that it'll actually still work well. So I guess we're going to find out. And then I'm going to do a small bit to get it. Alright, so that's in. It's mounted. I had to tighten the little faceplate here, which is a huge Allen wrench. Let's see what size that was. It's a 3/8 is what I used. So I'm going to plug this in. So this should be this wire. Plug that in. So I might just zip tie that up just to stay there. This goes to the camera. Do that, and then I got a couple of screws I got to put in here, and then right here there's a screw that I got to put here, and then I got to trim this plastic away. Alright, so I am using a pair of 10 snips to cut this plastic back. And then over here, they give you these little rubber washers to put in here to space this. Probably need 2 of them. And then I don't remember what screw goes here. Alright, so the last step is choosing which sticker to put on for the new light switch. You got the Squatch, you got the Alien, but I'm more practical. I'm probably going to go with the bumper. Kempa worked really hard. He's all worn out now. These are good day's work. These are good day's work. Oh look, a bird. Oh, I like cardinals.